Okay, you like to grill? Yeah. You got propane or gas? You got gas? Okay, well, instead of using gas or propane, what we actually do is we use the wood. Okay, that's what we're using for the fuel. Okay, and because we're using wood, if you think about it, for thousands of years, people used wood to cook. Okay, it wasn't until recent history we started using fossil fuels. We got away and started using that stuff instead of wood. You know why? Because the fossil fuels are more convenient, right? Well, if you could still have the great flavor and the great taste, right, but you could still have the convenience of fossil fuels, that'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to show you how we do this, all right? Now, what we're going to use is we're going to use pellets. Okay, we're going to use wood pellets. And these pellets, these are different pellets than what you'd normally have like in a regular wood stove or a pellet stove. They don't have any additives. There's no adhesives or anything like that, okay? So what we do is we have our own sawmills, and we take the sawdust, the leftover sawdust. So we're just recycling the materials instead of throwing it in the landfill. So we just compress it into these pellets, all right? Now, it takes 8,000 pounds of pressure. You get about 400 degrees, and it pulls the lignins outside the wood. Okay, and that's what binds it together, so it's all natural. Okay, so what we do is we take, this is wood-fueled and electronically controlled. So we take the wood pellets, we toss them in here into the hopper, and you just turn it on. Okay, electronically controlled. Turn it on. Once you turn it on, there's an auger in here that starts working the pellets down into this fire pot. At the bottom of the fire pot, there's a little rod. It's called a hot rod. Okay, you always wanted a hot rod, right? Now you can have a hot rod. Okay, this gets bright red. It gets red hot, and then as the pellets fall on top of it, that's what starts it on fire. Okay, once it starts on fire, then the hot rod shuts off, so it doesn't run the whole time. Okay, inside here, there's an induction fan. What it does is it blows air through this chamber and out these holes inside the fire pot, and that stokes the fire, kind of like a Ford, so it gets really hot. The other thing that fan's going to do is a couple things. In conjunction with this heat deflector, what it does is that helps cycle the heat evenly throughout the barrel, so you get an even cook. Okay, it's really important because it's like a rotisserie on a chicken. So you take your chicken, you put it on a rotisserie, and you rotate that heat over top of the meat. It gets real even all the way around. Well, here what we're doing is we're rotating the heat around the meat. So you get a real even cook. And what that does is seals all the flavor and the juices inside of the meat. That's where you get that great flavor like you tasted with the pulled pork. And you can't do that without using wood and having this type of system, okay? You just flat out can't do it. All right. Other thing that this heat deflector is going to do, all right, is going to help to keep all your drippings from falling onto the flame. You get flare-ups. So you want to maintain the temperature. Whenever you're doing cooking, you want to make sure that your temperature is really consistent. So it's got a temperature control on it. So what do? You like to grill? Okay, you like to grill. All right, well, when you want to grill, what you do is you just turn this up all the way to the high heat. It's going to be about 450, 460, somewhere around there in temperature. It's going to maintain that heat. So if you look over here, what it's got is a temperature control. So in this thermostat, if it drops within 2 or 3 degrees, then it's just going to start putting more pellets into the fire pot, stokes the fire for you. So it's easy. There's no guesswork. It just does it for you. Okay. So this drip pan, this is also going to keep those drippings from flaring up on there. Every time in your regular grill, every time the oils fall down into the flame, that gets flare-ups. That changes the temperature, changes the consistency, and you don't get the same result. That's why you need a Traeger. So with these drip pans, this helps easy with cleaning too. So everything just runs right down off the drip pan, down the hole, and into the bucket. It's quick and easy. One thing we recommend to do is take some tinfoil, just lay the tinfoil over the top of here. Makes it real easy if you want to clean it out. Okay, speaking of cleaning, these pellets, these burn at 99% efficiency. Okay, so you only clean out your Traeger ashes like maybe 3 times a year. It's real quick and easy. How often people like to clean in here is kind of a personal preference. Some people like to clean it out every time, make sure it's spotless. Some people leave the stuff in there and adds flavor for the next time. I mean, it's up to you. Okay, each on the grate, it's porcelain coated. Okay, so it's easy to clean and it doesn't stick. You can put it in the dishwasher too if you want. Okay. All right, so when you want to make your steaks, right? Because you like to grill, you want to do steaks and hamburgers. Well, on a regular grill, it's just got a unidirectional heat source. Okay, so what happens is you take your steaks, your hamburgers, or whatever, toss it on the grill, okay, and you get all the heat coming up from the bottom, right? And it cooks the bottom, and then all the flavor and the moisture goes right out the top. Okay, so here, remember, we're using that convection type heating, so it holds everything into it. Another thing, when you want to grill, I like grilling just as much as the next guy. Okay, here's what I don't like about grilling on my regular grill. What happens is everybody else is out having a good time, right? Where you're sitting here trying not to choke on smoke, and you got to flip your burgers every 2 or 3 seconds, right? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, and you want to try to keep your eyebrows. Here with the Traeger, you put in your steaks, you put in your hamburgers, whatever. Set your temperature, put it on high, close the lid. That's it. You don't have to babysit it. You go off and do whatever you want. Come back in a few minutes, probably about 10 minutes or so. Come back, open it up, everything's done. One thing you're going to be tempted to do, because I know I was when I first got my Traeger, is every time, with your other grills, you got to come back, you got to look every 5 seconds, make sure that, nothing's burning or anything like that. You don't get flare-ups, you don't end up charring your food. You don't want to char your food. It's got carcinogens in them. Traeger's more healthy for you, right? Okay, speaking of health, these pellets, okay, inside of them, when they burn off, they give antioxidants and vitamin E. Now, it's not like all the smoke that's from here is going to get in your food and totally make your food super healthy. But what it is going to do, okay, it is going to add nutritional value to your food. You don't get that with charcoal or gas. That actually decreases the health of your food and the taste too. So the wood's a difference, okay? Now, one thing that I always like to point out to people, guy was kind of rude, just forget him, okay? One of the things I always like to point out, you like to smoke? Yeah, you like to smoke? You should quit smoking. It's not good for your health, okay? No, I'm just teasing. Like, some people are intimidated to smoke, like they're fishing their salmon and stuff around Portland here. People like to do that stuff, okay? But people are intimidated to do it. And the reason that it is that when you want to smoke something, you got to make sure you have the right amount of wood, the right amount of time, the right amount of smoke, and it's got to be consistent. Because if it's not, you don't get the same result. With the Traeger, we take all that out for you. So this cookbook comes with it, okay? So all sorts of different recipes in here. You have recipes for beef, pork, poultry, seafood, all sorts of stuff, vegetables, okay? So here's what you have when you want to do salmon. Okay, say you want to smoke salmon or whatever you want to smoke. You can smoke whatever you want. Okay, so what you do is you take your recipes. It's not only going to give you the recipe for how to do it to get the flavor, but it's going to tell you how to do it in the Traeger. These are specifically made for the Traeger. So what you do, take your filet, put it down on the grate. Okay, put your seasonings on there. If you want to smoke something, you turn the dial over here to smoke. That's it. You just let that do it. You don't have to figure it out. You put it on there, close the lid, let it smoke, come back and it's done. Open it up, seals all the flavor and the moisture in there. It's easy, okay? One of the things I also like to point out to people is if you come right over here into the recipe book, see right here, it's got baked goods, okay? You can actually bake with your Traeger. You can take like your biscuits, bake your biscuits, pizzas, okay? You take your pizzas, sometimes we have a relationship with Papa Murphy's. You take your Papa Murphy's over here, put it in, it'll cook it up for you in 15 minutes, okay? There's all sorts of different things you can do with it. Now, check this out, you guys. Normally, what you get here is you get a 3-year warranty. It's 16 gauge steel. It's all powder coated. Okay, and you still get the Costco guarantee. You can't go wrong getting in here. All right. Crap, yeah, what am I forgetting?
Go into the close.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. We'll do better later. Okay. Now, if you wanted to replace your Traeger, right, first you're going to have to get a grill. You like to grill, so you need to get a grill, right? If you look right over here, those grills cost $3.99. The other ones cost you $692. They're not cheap. Okay, then you're going to have to get a barbecue, right? Barbecue is like $300-400. Go get yourself a smoker. Okay, if you get a good smoker, you're going to be spending quite a bit of money. You get $300-400. Then you're going to get a convection oven, because the convection oven, check those out. They're not cheap, $400 or $500. So in order to replace just what the Traeger will do, you're looking at $1,300-1,400, right? And they're not cooking with wood, so they're not going to get the same flavor. It's just flat out, you're just not going to get the same result with anything else but the Traeger. It's the best deal you got going right here for any of your barbecues. You'll be the hero of the home.